time in this league. Appreciate him in the offseason getting his weight down, doing what we asked him to do. His attitude's been great. All right, has nothing to do with any of that. Just felt like it was time for a reduced role, and I have too much respect for him to do that. And we felt like it was time for Barnes and Reeves-Maven to play more. And so this is really why we made a decision that we're making, trying to move forward. So I wish him the best of luck. We'll work through this, and time for Barnes and Reeves to go.
Jamie, regardless of whether a trade happens or not, has he played his last down for you guys? I mean, is that where you're at with this?
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. We're just letting this thing play out right now. We've got suitors right now. So certainly we're hoping to have this done sooner than later, but we're not necessarily putting a timetable on it either. We've had open communication with Jamie. We sat down, told him straight up, and he's been good. He understands.
Why not just bring him off the bench? Why?
Say it again.
Why not bring him off the bench? Why trade him?
Yeah, well, I think when you're doing that is that 8 to 10 reps, and then when you do that and you're asking Barnes and Germ to play a lot more, who also are going to have to play special teams, you're putting an extra burden on those guys because Jamie doesn't play special teams. And we just felt like for him and for us, it was the best thing to do.
That sort of developed over the last few days, or was it sort of always in the back of your mind?
I think, we've been through 2 games now, and you make your assessment and your judgment after 2 games. That's where we're at, and we just, there again, we felt like it was, if you're going to grow and you're going to try to get better as a team, as a unit, everything, you better do it now. And there again, I think this is best for Jamie as well. He gets a chance to go somewhere and do what he does, and we're just in a different place. Yeah, well, look, Barnes, you saw it in the preseason, and then even the limited snaps that he got in San Francisco, you can see just his aggressive style. He plays lights out. He can run. He's going to have some growing pains. Things are going to come up, but he can make up for a lot just with his effort too, which he's done. And there again, Reeves is going to play too. He's going to help us on defense as well. So we just felt like this is where we needed to go.
Go back to maybe some of your post-game comments, and then just talking about your other guys now, their effort. Was there any concern that Jamie's effort didn't match what your expectations are?
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I don't want you to think I'm avoiding this, but I don't want to do that. I got too much respect for him, and he gave what he had, and there again, we felt like it was time to move on.
So why is that important for you to address it, kind of speak on it? Because it's kind of rare to see a coach talking.
Because you guys are already going to know. It's like, where's Jamie? You already have. And so it's like at some point, what are we doing? It's like you can only hide so long. So, and I'm kind of, as much as we can be, we want to be as transparent as we can, particularly with the player. And it is what it is. And I'm just kind of, if we feel like this is where we need to go and it's best for the player and best for us, why are we messing around?
Something like this, do other veterans in the locker room, you need to address it with them in terms of guys looking over their shoulder too?
I talked to the captains and leadership is who I talked to yesterday. After I talked to Jamie, after Brad and I both talked to him, I talked to the leaders and captains and just explained it to them, you don't expect them to totally agree, but they just need to know where I was coming from. And there again, it's nothing against Jamie. There is still a business side to it, and wish him well. And like I say, his attitude's been great. It's nothing like that.
Do players prefer that openness that you shared?
I know I did when I played. I would want to know. And, you don't want to hide from it. You don't want to sugarcoat it. You just tell it like it is, because you can respect that. You may not like it, but you'll always respect it.
Dan, you understand it takes two to tango. If a deal cannot be consummated, have other options been explored as well?
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I think we'll have a suitor.
What about the other guys now who might have to play bigger roles? Pittman and Beckett will be part of those plans where they are to their development?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're thinking about Beckett. We also signed Zach Wood. We got him from the practice squad with Chicago. So there's a chance he comes in and helps us on special teams right now. He's also provides depth at linebacker. We're looking at him. We're looking at Wright as a tight end, Zylstra as a tight end for body types, that can help us on special teams, because that's where now we need the help, is to take a little bit off of Reeves and Barnes in special teams, because they're still going to have to be able to do that for us.
One of the best special teams players, obviously. You have to reduce his role if he's playing, increase defensive snaps. How do you manage that sort of dynamic?
Just a little louder.
Just Jalen is one of your best special teams players.
Yeah.
So how do you have to manage that role?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think that, I think you're going to probably split the load a little bit between Barnes and Reeves, so that you get the most out of both of them as it pertains to both sides of it, That, as of right now, that's kind of what we're thinking. Because, look, inevitably it does come up. Reeves, man, I thought he played outstanding the other night on special teams. Well, the more reps you get on defense, inevitably sometimes it starts to slip on special teams, and that is a fear. It's naturally what happens. But I know it won't be from lack of effort with him or either one of them. I know they'll put their best foot forward, but that's why we want to try to bring another body in here to help. And if we can take them off of a team, that's good.
Would you use Barnes and Reeves maybe situationally?
Could be, yeah. I mean, that we've got packages for both, and we got packages where they're in there together. So
this is a non-Jamie Collins question, but I just want to go back to Lamar Jackson real quick, and just can you explain what it's like watching film of him? I mean, do you stop sometimes and just marvel at some of the plays that you see? Like, is that part of?
Yeah, I did before. I had to. I was a head coach and in preparing for him, and then you get a little sick to your stomach. But yeah, I mean, he's a dynamic player, and let's face it, he's a dynamic player who has rare ability, rare talent, and he touches the ball 67 times a game, 70 times a game. That's I mean, he's going to have it in his hands, and so look, you play the odds, you do everything you can to limit their explosives. But inevitably, even as good as you can play, I mean, you look, they rush for 100 yards, 41 consecutive times. I mean, that's what they do. They do it well, they run it, and so I think the big thing is, man, how do you got to get a tackle for loss here. You got to get a couple of stops, and because that one stop that forces them into 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 may be the difference in the game. So if we can just find a way on one or two of these possessions, and limit the explosives. If they're going to do it, they got to it can't be these chunk runs. I think that's the big thing.
And on the other side of the ball, they're always been hyper-aggressive under wing. I'm just curious, do you feel like Hawkinson, Swift, Williams, the options you have, is that a good counter to maybe some of the blitz packages that they like to bring?
Yeah, I mean, I there again, we've got to have answers, and we've got some answers for these things. They certainly aren't going to shy away from it. They proved that. They proved that against Vegas. They got beat, and they came right back and zeroed them again. They got beat, and they came back and zeroed them. Like, they're not going to deviate. He's not going to deviate from what he does. They're going to challenge our receivers. They're going to try to take Hawk away, and we're going to have to be creative. And we're going to have some plays where we may block them up, where we get them all out. But they're bringing it. I mean, it's coming. So.
Really quick, Trey Flowers missed practice yesterday. He has 2 injuries he's dealing with now. What's his availability looking like for this week?
Yeah, we're just going to assess it towards the end of this week, see if we can get him back. I don't see him practicing today. Continue to rehab. He'll be getting the mental work, and we'll see where he's at tomorrow.
This is a basic thing, but how much would just winning a game help what's going on, help your team, help the whole situation?
Well, winning solves a lot of problems, a lot of issues, and so, yeah, I mean, it helps. I mean, significantly. A win can take a lot of the pain and sting away from things that have gone on, but there again, the byproduct of winning is playing proper football and playing the right type of game and being accountable to one another and doing your job. And so there again, I said it yesterday. Let's play the way we need to play and play it the right way, and then see what the score ends up looking like. See if we win, you know, and not shoot ourselves in the foot. Okay.